wasit.com.
Right now I'm just walking down past the farm with the dogs for a walk. It's a little reminder myself that I planned this month to, well, the end of it, April, May, to go full vegan. At the moment I'm probably describe myself as vegetarian, although I've cut back a lot on milk. I know there's a lot of stories about the cruelty towards cows and killing the young so they can produce milk. To be honest, a lot of these stories are so upsetting, I don't look into them. But for a while now I've been planning to become vegan, so I thought I'd do a few little updates, see how things go. Mainly because I think there's a lot more things now for vegans out there. The problem in the past has been that there's been, in general, for me, going to the supermarket, not very many vegan things, and it tends to be expensive. The other side is, I'm a bit lazy to cook and things, to be honest. So obviously I could probably buy the beans and whatnot, and do things correct. But oh, here we go. I'm just walking. Come here, you lot. Come. So I'm just walking past the farm, and in it I see. Sorry, the dog's upsetting them. I see a lot of sheep with lambs. It always upsets me thinking that they're going to get eaten or something. I'll just take a picture just to remind myself. I'm just pausing now. I can usually take a picture, I think, as I'm recording, but it might beep or something in the background. Hang on. Oh dear. See if I can. It's not easy to take a picture. Let's see. I've just taken one. I'll just put it away now. I can never understand how people can eat animals, especially when you hear people eating lambs, which are just babies. You see the cute little faces, as if we have some sort of superiority over them. And it's a bit why I get a bit irritated by religions, where they say the religions declare man superior to animals and stuff. Well, sorry. Most people I see, I think, flies have more right to life. That might upset people me saying that, but honestly, it irritates me when I see the cruelty people do and conflict on animals. And the trouble is, they get away with it. They don't even go to prison most of the time. They can do sick, sadistic things, and these pieces of garbage can live with us. I get a bit upset over it. It's one of the things I get quite upset over. So anyway, this is just a little thing. So anyone who's interested in maybe becoming vegan might just see what you think of my experience. Hopefully, I know. Up till now, in fairness, I eat a lot of corn stuff, but that's got milk in. And my neighbour, who claims to be vegan, was telling me how she eats corn until I pointed out it's got milk in, and therefore it's technically just vegetarian and not vegan. And I also do wonder sometimes when you buy sweets or things where you presume it's vegan, is it really vegan? I don't always look for the V thing. I often do, but sometimes I just presume, which I'm not sure. I noticed, you see, a few years ago a lot of cheese wasn't vegan, and they switched that because I think they used a bit of blood or something, and they switched that out, so a lot of cheese now is vegan, so that tends to be easier. And a lot of the vegan stuff isn't expensive. In fact, it's usually the same price or cheaper. And also, I mean, it's not just because of the animal cruelty, to be fair. I also think health reasons. There's many reasons to go vegan, or at least vegetarian. I'm thinking that the sounds of it, cheese and milk might not be as good for you. So that could be another health benefit. I'm walking, by the way, so there's a lot of noise in the background. It's probably me walking other dogs, but it's easy to do these things as I'm walking rather than sat in the house. But often I end up doing them late at night, or forgetting and getting so tired I just can't be bothered. Well, now I can do it with things. Just, I mean, I don't write these down. That none of this is script. Well, sometimes I might make notes, but this one isn't. It's just off my head. But what I'll do is I'm going to crash this rest of this month. So it's now mid-April, and then May I'm going to start properly and see how things go. I suspect I'll end up buying the odd just vegetarian things, thinking it's vegan. It's not easy to always tell. One of the things that I keep thinking is, should I just go to an Asian store? Do they do proper vegan food? So I do like Asian food, such as vegetable samosas. Is that pronounced right? I think they're vegetarian, if not vegan. I'm not sure. I don't think they use beef or anything in them. So it's a bit like fish and chip shops. Some fish and chip shops use beef to fry the chips, and others use vegetable oil. My mate told me down south it's more vegetable oil. It's just the north of the country you find it beef. I mean, there are a few that you do find, a few fish and chip shops that do vegetable oil. I prefer it. I mean, by the way, I wasn't always a vegetarian. Sorry, there's the dog barking. I used to eat meat, and to be honest, I just don't remember when I switched out from eating meat. Sorry, loud mouth in the background, so I don't know if you can hear me, to vegetarian. But the idea now to eat meat would just gross me out. It's never. Someone gave me a burger, it just made me vomit. I have been in houses where they've been cooking meat, and you actually just feel physically sick. Just the smell. Anyway, that's my little bit of a ramble. It was just a note to self. I think by saying this, it's just going to push me to start being. So I need to get a bit healthy, to be fair, as well. I'm sort of mid-40s, and even though in my head I'm still no older than 18, I keep getting panic attacks now. I keep seeing everyone dying at age 50 and stuff. I'm thinking, oh crikey. So that's the trouble. It's back in my mind, will I live to another 6 months or 50 more years? I mean, by the time I'm in 50 years, if I make it, they might have worked out a way to keep your life 1,000 years. But until then, I think the best way is just be healthy. And oh yeah, before I forget, this is going off subject, but it's a little story I tell people. Years ago, I worked in a old people's home, and a lot of them weren't that old. Oops, I just dropped a bag, sorry. I've got a bag that I've got the microphone in. It's handy, I was picking it up. Anyway, a lot of them weren't, I don't think, were that old, but I found a lot wanted to be elderly. I see it now with even people in the 30s. They just come home, crash out, don't do anything, just sit in front of the TV. And I've got a theory, I mean, I'm not sure if it's true, but I have heard it, is that your body just simply shuts down because it's not being used. And there were a lot of people there who were elderly and they were overweight, and they just didn't they'd given up on life in reality. They were just waiting for death. It was quite a depressing place to be. They wouldn't even get out of bed. We had to get them out. They'd be fed, get breakfast, then get dinner, get tea, all the time just sat in front of the TV, and then about 9 o'clock or whatever it was, back to bed, and the day would repeat. I mean, it wasn't living. But anyway, one day I met an old lady, and I think she said she was 95, and she'd fallen and broken her arm, but she was fuming because she was saying that she was off to India, and she was sprightly. and I don't think anyone told her to get old. I think she'd still been in her head 18, and she acted it, and to be fair, she had the youth on her side in that regards. And it's always something I've been conscious of since then, to keep active regardless, because the day you stop, doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, or even I've seen 20-year-olds just shut down. I mean, I've seen more and more people just giving up on life, sat in wheelchairs, just waiting for death. Some do it, I know, for benefits. The trouble is, for all the money they get, it's just not worth it. It honestly isn't. I'd rather be alive and moving than get to the stage that you're getting a few grand, maybe a free car, whatever. It's just not worth it. I used to see a lot of people years ago when I worked in a cinema, and you could see some had shut down even at an early age, giving up on life. And that was the thing about this old lady. She was telling me about our grandsons. I think they were all grandsons, hadn't come visit her, and I was thinking, oh, that's sad. But then it sort of it twigs as she went along. They were in the 50s. They weren't like these 10-year-old kids that I imagined when you talk about grandchildren. That because of her age, they were much, much older. And they couldn't visit her, not because they were being mean, but she admitted they were looking after their own wives. So her grandkids were less fit than this 95-year-old, and I bet she's still going now. And I think that's something I always tell people. If you listen to this, just get up and go for a walk. But a neighbour's dog, if you've got an elderly neighbour and she's got a dog, walk it. You know what I mean? It's quite nice to have a dog to take out. I'm walking my friend's dogs at the moment. Makes the dogs fitter. I just got one zooming up to me now. When I picked him up, the other day, didn't have all the muscle tone. She's quite muscly now, and much healthier. She had problems with her little joints. She's had problems since, I think she was one of these hyperbred dogs, puppy farms. And she used to, although apparently it's common in Jack Russells, the little kneecaps would go. But since I've been walking her, she's had no problems. So I got dry mouth here. It's in the back of my head. I start panicking, thinking, is that cancer? And the other one's elderly, but he's just we heard him barking and he's running up to me now, having the time of his life. But that's me just going completely off the subject of going vegan, as I tend to do, rabbit on. Anyway, that's just I'll see how it goes, and we'll work out. I'll print out what I'm eating. Probably going to be unhealthy, because my problem is it's not the most healthiest diet. I'll try and I used to eat a lot of fruit. I've cut down a bit. I'm going to have to start eating more. One of the plans is to start eating basically, because I don't bother cooking, just eat fresh fruit and veg, and see how that goes. Not sure if it'll be a cheaper option or more expensive, or if it'll be filling. The trouble is, it's that filling thing. It's alright eating, but it's if you feel hungry afterwards. It's why a nice big chocolate cake comes in handy. They tend to fill you up quite nicely. They're not the healthiest, but at least you can go to bed and you're not feeling hungry. Well, a few carrots after 5 minutes, I always think I'm still hungry. Anyway, I hope this waffle was some use to you guys. It's really just a diary for me. I mean, a lot of these things are really just a diary to get it off my chest. Maybe it's a bit of OCD or something, just to get my thoughts out, and then I can relax, rather than keep them all bungled up in my head. So it's a lot of this stuff I'd go on about is me just being completely insane, basically a Looney Tune. But it's just a way of seeing if I can cope with life better by just blurting it out. So even if no one listens, it's really just for my own benefit. I mean, that's what I've been telling people. I'm not even bothered about other people listening. It's just me just to ramble and say it and get it off, and maybe keep a bit of a diary. You see, the trouble is I'm dyslexic, so writing stuff down I'm not very good, and I find writing tedious, which I just can't be bothered. It's just the most dullest thing going. Well, if I say stuff like this, I can ramble on and get my thoughts out, and it's a way of putting things down. Anyway, that's it. A lot of more waffle. Oh god, you see, I can't even speak. No, mind right. Anyway, over and out.